Well, the price of flats have essentially doubled over the past couple of years.
Regardless of the yes or no?
Well, yes.
Wow.
I've been accused of being a spy when trying to rent a flat.
Yeah.
Because that was during when the Ukrainians were in the Kursk region, so they just captured a British soldier fighting for them, so it's understandable in that circumstance, but still I came across that a lot. There's always going to be problems when you move to a country, but you see you have to have like a really strong reason to be able to come here, because otherwise you're going to give up. You will be here for like 3 months and you'll think, I can't deal with this, I'm leaving. If you're doubting or having questions while moving to Russia, just do your research and see whether it actually fits with you. But don't just trust what people online will say about life here. Like, come visit before you plan on moving. I'd say that's the biggest thing. Because I see people that just drop their entire life and move here. Like, at least come here for a bit and see if you actually like it. Because you can't really tell online what the country is like.
Hello everybody, welcome to another video of Brit Consulting, and today we have Ben with us. Thank you so much for coming.
You're very welcome.
And he talks about Russia in his videos, and today he's willing to talk with us about Russia, about your experience, about your life here. And you left when you were 23 years old, at the time when the SMO started.
Rather full of himself, quite frankly. Yeah, I don't really think it's to my taste, if I'm honest. Welcome to Voronezh, a moderately sized city of about 1 million people in central European Russia.
What was that like to your family, to your parents, to your loved ones?
My family thought I was mental for doing it. Later on they came round to it. Once I'd actually spent some time here, I'd shown them what it was like here, told them about what it was like here, they calmed down. Some people didn't like it, but they're not in my life anymore, so it doesn't really matter now.
Did you have to cut out quite a bit of people because of your decision?
I wouldn't say I had to like purposely cut them out, but it just kind of happened that they weren't particularly happy with me moving here with the current world situation.
Mm-hmm. And you moved for love, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Tell us about that.
Well, I met my wife online before she was my wife, and I eventually ended up coming a few times to Russia, and we got married and decided to stay.
Why did you think you would be better off in Russia than in the UK?
Well, it just seemed that, at least, because we thought for the time being it would be the easiest place for us just in general, with like money situation and like family situation between the two of us. And eventually we found out it would probably be our only option anyway, because my wife's visa to Britain to visit was refused.
How did that happen?
Well, we just tried to visit for Christmas, and they gave, honestly, some quite silly reasons for refusing.
Yeah, I mean, it's always such a shame when that happens. But yeah, I know also stories of visas being refused. So yeah, unfortunately.
It's unfortunate, but we're here. We're happy anyway.
You live in Kursk.
Welcome to Russia, specifically the city of Kursk, my home city. Now, there are many people who want to move here to Russia, many adventurous people, and also many people that think it's a nightmare here, like you really shouldn't, you'd be stupid to do so. I'll also take you on my average Saturday afternoon and show you a little bit of my life as well whilst we discuss that. So how about you join me as I tell you, should you move to Russia? Did I make a mistake? Let's go.
So Kursk is a different story from Moscow, for sure.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on your life there and why Kursk? Because your wife probably lives there.
My wife is from Kursk. I also just really like the city.
What is it? What's so special about it?
It's a similar size to where I come from in England, and I'm not particularly a metropolitan person, so Moscow was just off the table right away. I just can't handle crowds, and I can't handle like the fast-paced life of Moscow. We have looked at other cities, and we are considering other cities, just because the situation with accommodation like flats and stuff in Kursk is quite difficult.
Really?
Yeah.
How come?
Well, the price of flats have essentially doubled over the past couple of years.
Regardless of the yes or no?
Yes. And it happened around the time that we were looking at flats.
Dear viewer, if you're thinking about moving to Russia, this announcement is for you. Our company specializes in helping foreign citizens to relocate to Russia. We handle the relocation process from start to finish, turnkey, so to speak. We have over 200 cases under our belt. We help with relocations not only to Moscow and St. Petersburg, but also to any other region of Russia. Please note that all our consultations are completely free. Join our migration Telegram channel, where you'll not only find answers to many of your questions, but also find like-minded people. The link is in the description. You film videos, you showcase your perspective, and you said you don't really receive positive feedback a lot of the time. So why do you do it? What's the idea?
I just enjoy making videos anyway. I'd do it even if I didn't have an audience. But also just, I don't particularly care what people will say about me or what response I'll get. It's just I put out the information that's correct out there. Whether it's, I don't know, it's seen as negative or positive, I just show what I see and what I think, regardless of what other people say or think.
Do you think there is an impact that your videos make on a certain group of people who would be thinking of moving to Russia?
On people moving to Russia, I don't think so. But it did gain a lot of attention from like pro-Ukrainian bloggers online. And so that's where most of the negativity comes from. And most of the stuff that I say is pretty, we could say boring. It's kind of like center of the road, you know what I mean? You can find a lot of the information elsewhere. It's just, it's kind of difficult to me to put into perspective. I know some people have contacted me saying that they are interested in moving, and they come to me in particular. It means that surely something I've said has sparked some interest in them. I think I just maybe haven't made any impact on people. I don't know. It's kind of difficult to tell.
Well, I mean, you have plenty of views, over 3,000 on the video. On some of the videos, it's much more.
Yeah, one of them definitely.
Which one?
One that ended up getting caught by some pro-Ukrainian accounts.
Well, what's the video?
It's like basically me just going through the positives and negatives of living here, and I got 140,000.
Oh, wow.
Not all of them positive.
How do you deal with the hate?
It was really difficult in the beginning, honestly, because I went from like getting about 100 views a video and then like 60 subscribers to then within like a week getting like 50,000 views on that video and like 3,000 subscribers or something. And most of it was hate. Most of the views were hate, and so it was just a shock to the system. But what can you do? You live in Russia. It's something that's going to come if you post something online about it.
Well, with the current internet restrictions, it might not even come through.
Oh, well.
For sure.
Definitely.
What's your favorite place in Kursk?
There's a park called Novoboyevka, and it is absolutely stunning. For me, it's on the same level as, like, I don't know, some of the more famous parks in Moscow. It's just absolutely incredible.
Is it a big one?
It's pretty big. They've got like a sort of recreation area that's a bit smaller, but around it is just all these like forests. It's right in the centre of the city. So it's just a wonderful place if anyone's visiting.
There's so many people here today. It's so lively, it's thriving here.
Это лучшее место Курска. Тут всегда много людей, напоминает атмосферу юга.
Plus basically everything's open now, so why not? Why not come out? It's a good time to be had in Kursk.
Even the ducks are enjoying the wonderful weather we have.
Regarding the infrastructure, again, you said you weren't a metropolitan person. So Kursk is obviously more of a provincial city. What's with the infrastructure? For example, have you had any experiences dealing with local healthcare? What's it like compared to the NHS, for example? An honest review, please.
I will definitely give an honest review. So the NHS, I'm not a fan of it, I'll be honest. It's caused me some issues in my life, just trying to deal with it and the issues that have happened over the past few years with it. And coming to Kursk in particular, I thought it was going to be pretty much the same because, well, it's not Moscow, you know. But no, I've had a pretty decent experience overall, especially with dental care. I've had to have quite a lot of dental care done. But one thing that did happen when I was getting my, the medical certificates that you have to get for living here.
Yeah.
It came back It came up positive for HIV.
Oh my God.
And I thought, this can't be right. We took another test, like privately, like not at the same clinic, and they said that I didn't. But the people working at the clinic that was registered to do these certificates, like they were not happy with us, like saying, can you test it again? Because we knew 100% it was wrong, and they were quite rude about it. And then when it came back, it was just like, here you go, you're negative. Yeah, as if it was nothing. It caused like a few days of panic.
Who had to fight for it? You or your wife, or both of you?
Mostly my wife. I don't think anyone's willing to listen to me.
Друзья, хотели бы вы выучить русский язык? Если да, то приглашаем вас на наши бесплатные уроки по изучению русского языка. Oh, sorry. Friends, would you like to learn Russian? If so, we invite you to our Russian language lessons. They are completely free and are held in small groups. For your convenience, our teachers offer lessons in several languages. The link to our educational Telegram channel is in the description.
What other state institutions you have had any kind of interaction with, where it was just you fighting the battle with the state institutions? What was it like for you? How do people treat you as a foreigner in Kursk?
In general, people are okay with it. You don't get many Westerners in Kursk. So most of the foreigners will be students who are going to the medical university there. But I don't know, people I think at first are a bit more wary with a British person there, as can be seen in my comments from people from Kursk, or even troubles I've had trying to rent a flat.
Oh wow, really? It's gone that far?
Yes. In general, people are completely fine with it. I've had people just make up where they think I'm from, and I just go along with it half the time. Some days I'm Armenian, some days I'm, I don't know, something else.
Who else are you other than Armenian? Just
Romanian, German. It doesn't really matter. People just make up their minds. Sometimes I'll say I'm English, but sometimes I just go along with it because I think it's funny. Armenian is the most common one.
Interesting.
Do I look Armenian to you?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell. I wouldn't think Armenian from the first sight.
Most of the time people think I'm Russian at first.
Oh, yeah, you look pretty Russian, I would say.
And then I speak and they realise I'm not.
How do you deal with pronouncing certain words that are like super difficult? How do you drill them? How do you go about learning Russian?
I just get my wife to say, you're saying that weirdly, or just like kind of like when I say something to my wife and she just gives me a blank stare, I know, okay, I've pronounced something correctly. But it is something I've struggled with quite a lot. The Russian language, well, the most beautiful in the entire world. And if you clicked on this video, most likely you are learning it. I'm sure that many of you watching have been sat there reading your textbooks, doing your Duolingo, and you've thought to yourself, none of it is going in my head. I'm not particularly good with languages, I think, but I've been told like some things I could pronounce fine, but then other things it's just not right.
How did you go about learning?
Oh, it was quite a long road, but most of the time it was just learning through my words through flashcards, and then kind of just trying to understand my wife when she's talking with her family and stuff like that at first, and eventually I was able to understand more and more, and just went on like that.
Do you have a funny story related to learning the language?
I have a time when I went to a shop, and it was just before I was about to get a train to leave the city, and I just thought, okay, I just need a couple of rolls of toilet paper. I go in there and I just buy a couple of rolls. And the woman working in the shop, I couldn't understand her, because at this point I could understand decently, but my speaking was terrible. And so she was saying, she took me to the area with all the toilet rolls and stuff. And she was trying to explain that it would be better for my money if I went with like the bigger packets of like 8 or whatever, something like that. And I just stood there blankly going, because I could understand, but I just had no idea how to explain that I only needed this amount. And in the end, she just called me Glupy Chelyvyak and just scanned the item that I've already brought her.
How was it integrating into your wife's family?
They seem to have been pretty accepting. There's not much else to say about that. they're pretty nice to me. I'm pretty nice in return.
Do you spend a lot of time together, or is it just mostly?
I think it depends on the time of year.
Okay, yeah. How are the festive seasons happening?
I mean, New Year is like any Russian New Year, but it's like most of the time it'll be going to the Oryol and helping out her gran on the like vegetable patches and stuff like that. Recently, she's got to a point where she's struggling with doing it now because of age, and so she needs some help.
Is it a big огород? Oh no!
Luckily, they stopped doing potatoes now because that was the worst.
Do you have something like that back home in England?
No, not in my family. At least like not in the recent generations. Like it was like my great grandparents sort of generation, which were mostly focused on that. And after that, it just kind of died out quite quickly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And about the fact that you're a foreigner here in Kursk, it's one thing. Is there a different perspective on you? Do people treat you differently in Moscow, for example, than they treat
People don't care in Moscow.
Oh, okay.
At least I think I don't spend that much time here.
Mm-hmm.
From my experience, people don't particularly care that you're a foreigner here. Whereas in Kursk, just because it's a bit rarer, you get reactions for it, whether positive or negative.
Yes, спасибо. And everyone here is trying to sell you something. Everyone here is rushing past, they don't even think about you. And that's what it's like in a big city like this. I just don't like it. As a tourist, it's completely fine. Like, you're coming to visit, you get to see all the sights, and then you get to go home. But if I had to live in this city, I don't think I'd be personally very happy.
And any stories related to that where you have been treated differently other than the toilet roll story?
I mean, I've been accused of being a spy when trying to rent a flat.
Yeah.
Because that was during when the Ukrainians were in the Kursk region, so they just captured a British soldier fighting for them, so it's understandable in that circumstance, but still I came across that a lot.
What's it like? You have traveled quite a bit, right? Which cities have you visited with your wife?
The one that always comes to my mind is Nazran, Stavropol. First time I was in Russia was St. Petersburg. Going to Vladimir today.
Oh,
After-
yeah.
right after this.
Yeah.
So I've been around a bit, but I've not been to the Far East. I want to go further east. Basically, today will be the first time I've gone east of Moscow, so it's a bit exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Have a wonderful trip.
And thank you very much.
A lot of people consider Russia, for example, that we met through Brit, for example, they consider Russia a place for raising their children through kind of some values that the Russians have according to the Decree 702, for example. Do you value anything of that sort for yourself, or did you not have anything like that in mind when you came and you just came for your wife?
When I came, I didn't have anything like that in mind. Well, I'm still not on any of the 702 stuff. Might be a bit controversial, but in general, I just don't think they're moving like solely for political reasons like a lot of people I see. I don't personally think that's the right way of going about it. You kind of have to like the place on a deeper level if you're going to actually go through struggles of moving here.
Yeah, talk about the struggles.
Well, visas, registrations. With the there's always going to be problems when you move to a country, but you have to have like a really strong reason to be able to come here, because otherwise you're going to give up. You will be here for like 3 months and you'll think, I can't deal with this, I'm leaving.
About those difficulties, what is the 2 top tips you would give those who are thinking of moving here regarding dealing with stuff like registration, with obligatory medical checks and all of that? How do you stay on top of that when you come here so you don't mess up all the checklists that you have to go?
Trust me, I mess up a lot. I'm not the best one to give advice, but generally just use the Telegram groups. There's tons of Telegram groups for this stuff. Bryden being one. There's tons of information out there. It's just about, there's constantly something new going on, some new issue that you have to deal with. And so it's just keeping up with that through. another great way is just knowing another foreigner who's in the same stage of the process as you. And if they come across something that they're struggling with, then you kind of work through it together. So I think that's a brilliant way of keeping up with that.
Would you say that there is a community of foreigners, even for example, an online community, or
Definitely an online community, yeah.
On Telegram?
Yeah, mostly on Telegram. It's still a very, very small group of people, as you'll all be aware.
Yeah.
So most people know each other, at least vaguely. They come across each other a lot. You see the same faces on these Telegram groups every day. Most people end up having small community online.
Mm-hmm. And regarding advice, what is, for example, top 3 Telegram channels that you would recommend?
Brit would be the main one, like Live and Do Business one.
Yeah, Live Doing Business in Russia channel is the Telegram channel of Brit Consulting, where we give free advice, where you're welcome to ask your questions, and where definitely you will be talked to and helped with some key points regarding legal things in Russia.
I mean, another one would be Put Домой.
Put Домой, yeah.
That's another good one. And then,
So Brain, Put Домой, and great. Well, it's really nice to know that it's useful.
it's definitely, especially when a new decree's been signed and you get like a notification about it or discussing it, then it's extremely useful.
Yeah. Thank you for the feedback.
Yeah,
It's
right.
really grateful.
Good help.
If you were president for a day, what would you change in Russia?
That's an interesting question. In terms of immigration,
In terms of anything.
I think I'll stick to immigration.
So 821. Yeah, the 821.
I would get rid of that personally. I think there's a lot of people who would be better used in Russia who are being turned away or having struggles solely because of that.
There's the 883 decree, which is the so-called global talent visa. Just the talent visa, where you can come to Russia and contribute as a highly qualified specialist, as a scientist, as a creative person, as a talented student, and more. We will put in the description the link to the decree, and hopefully you'll be able to find your category and apply on the Time to Live in Russia website. And we'll link everything and have a look at that. Did it take time to get used to local peculiarities, I don't know, in terms of weather, in terms of cuisine, or anything like that?
I've still not gotten used to the cuisine. Like, it's going to be controversial, but I cannot stand a kroshka at all. It makes me sick just thinking about it.
Is the one with kefir or the one with kvass?
Both. Both of them. I just cannot. Just thinking about it, I can feel just...
What's a kroshka? Kroshka is bologna.
It's basically just olivier, but just with kefir or kvass.
Yeah.
Instead of mayonnaise.
Yeah, I can understand, definitely. What's in terms of the weather, because I mean, especially this year, it's been so nasty. It's been such a long winter, and the summer is really rainy. How do you go about that? Do you take vitamin D like all of us do? Or...
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll probably not survive without vitamin D. But regardless, this year in particular has been
Nasty.
nasty, especially over the winter. I saw the snowfall you're having here in Moscow. It was insane. We also had a bit of that in Kursk. Obviously not to the crazy extent it was here, but I think that's the worst winter that I've experienced here.
Hopefully it's not going to get worse than that.
Hopefully not. Hopefully it'll go the other way.
The global warming way.
Yeah. Maybe next summer we'll have the lovely summer instead of this rainy one we're having now.
Your wife, how did her side of the family and her friends, how did they react to her choice of spouse?
I think in the beginning they didn't understand it either,
Mm-hmm.
in the same way that my family didn't, but they came around to it pretty quickly, I think. Especially once they met me. I think once they met me, like in most situations, they're kind of, okay, he's not some maniac or something, it's fine. I promise.
So it's like a reality check, right?
Yeah.
So it's like for your videos, basically the whole idea is to show things the way they are so people can get a different perspective on.
Exactly. 100%.
Great. Anything that you are thinking to touch upon in your videos but haven't touched upon yet and can give us a small preview on?
I'm honestly going to try and stay away from digging a hole for myself anymore in my videos and be a kind of focus on more like different cities. So that's, for a while, I'm not going to touch on any controversial topics anymore, at least for a couple of months. So that's okay.
Looking forward to a video from Vladimir then.
Oh, let's see.
Anything you would like to touch upon while we still have the opportunity? Anything that you would like to say? Anything that, a message to those who are thinking to move to Russia but are doubting or having questions?
If you're doubting or having questions while moving to Russia, just do your research and see whether it actually fits with you. Don't just trust what people online will say about life here. Like, come visit before you plan on moving. I'd say that's the biggest thing. Because I see people that just drop their entire life and move here. Like, at least come here for a bit and see if you actually like it. Because you can't really tell online what the country is like.
For sure. Great. Well, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Ben, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And yeah, tune into the Brit Telegram channel. Tune into 83883 Decree. Tune into more things about living here. And yeah, thank you so much and have a great day, guys. Bye. Thank you for watching our videos to the end. If you already live in Russia or are just starting out and would like to share your experience relocating to Russia with others, please contact us. We'd be happy to feature your story on our channel or in our partnership projects with Russia Today. You'll find our contact information in the description. See you again soon.